we continue with the one level higher question, here x squared minus 5x plus 3, x squared minus 5x plus 3 must be greater than 0, or x squared minus 5x plus 3 must be less than 0. This is quadratic inequality. Later we are going to understand that one, but now we are going to do like this. We are going to try to check the solutions, and we are going to find it by checking the solutions. So there are two cases here. X squared minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 3, or minus x squared minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 3. If you remember, this was the part of the table. In the first part, x squared minus 5x, it's going to be equal to this 3 and this 3. If we simplify, it's going to be equal to 0. Then it's equal to x times x minus 5 it's going to be, which is equal to 0. x1 is equal to 0, and x2 is equal to 5 it's going to be. When you replace the 0 in the equation, you're going to see that it's going to satisfy. When you replace the 5, it's going to be positive again, and it's going to satisfy. Then we are going to say both 0 and 5, they are the solution of this equation. When it is in this form, minus x squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0, minus x squared plus 5x minus 3, sorry, here it should be 3 minus 3 is equal to 0, minus x squared plus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. Generally in this form I will do like this: x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0, which means I will multiply by minus 1 to make the x squared is positive. So multiplying by minus 1 means 1 by 1 you are multiplying all the terms here. Minus 1 times this one 0, minus 1 times minus 6, minus 1 times 5x, and minus 1 times minus x squared. So the results become like this, you know this one. Then x squared minus 5x plus 6, if it's equal to 0, x times x minus 3 times minus 2 it's going to be. Then we are going to do like this: minus 3 times x is equal to minus 3x, x times minus 2 is equal to minus 2x, then the sum is going to be equal to minus 5x, which is the midterm. It means that this factorization is true. X minus 3 times x minus 2 is equal to 0, x1 is equal to 3, and x2 is equal to 2 it's going to be. When you replace the values here, 2 squared minus 5 times 2 plus 3, it's less than 0. 2 squared 4 minus 5 times 2 minus 10, and when you replace here, it's equal to it's less than 0. That's satisfying. And the second one is here, it's going to be, by the way, minus 10. In minus 10 in absolute value it's equal to 3, and 2 is satisfying. And 3 squared minus 5 times 3 squared 9 minus 5 times 3 is equal to minus 15, plus 3 is equal to minus 3. In absolute value, minus 3 is equal to 3 again, so this is also satisfying. So when you are talking about the solution set, all of them they are going to do solution. And here if we write in order 0 to, actually these are x3 and x4, it's going to be 0, 2, 3 and 5. These are all the roots of the equation in order I wrote them. Okay, the next and the last question about this one is going to be, here is going to be, solve the quadratic equation x squared minus 3x plus 1 is equal to root of x squared minus 4x plus 4. Firstly, we need to know here this one. Here we need to remember this one. X squared minus 4x plus 4, x squared minus, let me write with different color, x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to x minus 2 parenthesis square. If you remember the form a square a minus b square, a square minus 2ab plus b square, then you will get this one. We need to know that one. Then you need to remember also this one. Square root of x square was equal to absolute value of x. It means that square root of x squared minus 4x plus 4 will be equal to square root of x minus 2 parenthesis square, which is equal to absolute value of x minus 2. So if I rewrite this equation one more time here, x squared minus 3x plus 1, when it's equal to square root of x squared minus 4x plus 4, it means that it's equal to x squared minus 3x plus 1 is equal to absolute value of here, as you see the order here, absolute value of x minus 2 it must be. If there are absolute value, actually the relation between absolute value and radical equation also is this one. If absolute value of x minus 2 we have, it means that with respect to this one I have two cases. X minus 2 will be greater than 0 or x minus 2 will be less than 0. If x minus 2 is greater than 0, x squared minus 3x plus 1 will be equal to x minus 2. On the other side, x squared minus 3x plus 1 must be equal to minus x minus 2. Then, if I continue from this one, x squared minus 3x plus 1, actually minus x plus 2 is equal to 0, and x squared minus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0, it's going to be. Then x and x, minus 3 and minus 1 if I say, and this is the sum is minus 4, product is 3 plus 3, that's why this factorization is true. So factors are x minus 3 times x minus 1 is going to be, that's equal to 0. So x1 is equal to 3 and x2 is equal to 1, and x2 is equal to 1 is extraneous solution, because x minus 2, if it is greater than 0, it means that x is greater than 2, and this is extraneous solution, and that's why this is not going to be in the solution set. So I'm going to here cross like this. And the second one, if I continue here, x squared minus x squared minus 3x plus 1 is equal to minus x plus 2. X squared minus 3x plus 1 plus x minus 2 is equal to 0, it's going to be, which means x squared minus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Then here I cannot use the factorization methods, that's why I have to use the delta method. Delta is equal to b squared minus 4ac, which is equal to minus 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 1, it's going to be, which is equal to minus 1, which is equal to 4 plus 4, that's equal to 8. So root of delta, this is delta, root of delta is equal to root of 8, which is equal to 2 root 2. x1 is equal to minus b plus root of delta over 2a, which is equal to minus b here, it's equal to, where is the function? Minus b here, it's equal to minus 2. So minus b becomes 2 plus 2 root 2 over 2 times 1, which is equal to 2, it's going to be. And x2 here, it's going to be x2 here, x2 is equal to minus b minus root of delta over 2a, which is equal to 2 plus, actually I need to simplify to see what are the values, are they greater than 2 or not. That's why it's better to simplify also here, because this is going to be equal to the first one I'm talking about, 2 times 1 plus root 2 all over 2, it's going to be, then this 2 and this 2, if we simplify, it's going to be equal to 1 plus root 2. This is the x1. What about x2? x2 is equal to minus b minus root delta over 2a, which is equal to the same operations but with the negative sign only. Same operations with negative sign means it's equal to 1 minus root 2 is going to be. Okay, then if one of them is 1 plus root 2 and the other one is 1 minus root 2, and for the second interval x must be less than 2. Here I know that 1 plus root 2 is greater than 1 plus root 2. 1 plus root 2 is greater than 1 plus root 2. I couldn't write. 1 plus root 2 is greater than 2. So this is extraneous solution. Extraneous solution, and we should cross this plan. But the second one here, 1 minus root 2, 1 minus root 2 is less than 1 minus root 2. I couldn't write minus root 2 also. 1 minus root 2 is less than 2. So this is going to be inside the solution of the question. I couldn't write 1 minus root 2 clearly. That's why I'm rewriting the last part again. 1 minus root 2 is less than 2. It must be. So this is inside the solution, this is inside the solution, but the others, x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 minus root 2 is not, 1 plus root 2 is not inside the solution set.